Good evening, my dear fiends. Stay a while and listen. The ancients feared the polished obsidian mirror, believing it a gateway to the spirit world, a dark, reflective surface where one might see more than just oneself. We modern folks scoff at such superstitions, do we not? And yet, we surround ourselves with more black mirrors than any civilization in history. But who's to say what precisely is watching back? I call this one the glitch in the glass. My name is Julian Thorne, and for the past decade, my life's been a catalog of the strange and unexplainable. My official title, the one that gets me interviews and access to police reports, is Paranormal Investigator. But between us, I'm more of a professional debunker, a folklorist of the modern age. I find the loose thread, the logical inconsistency, the psychological loose wire that unravels a ghost story back into a sad, simple truth. I've dealt with hoaxers looking for their 15 minutes of fame, with the grieving who desperately want to believe, and with the simple, explainable creaks and groans of old houses settling into their graves. It takes a lot to get my attention. But last month, I started getting the emails. One at first, from a college student in Ohio, then another from a retired long-haul trucker in Arizona, then 3 more in a single day. As of this morning, my inbox contains 74 unique, unrelated reports of the exact same impossible phenomenon. A phenomenon they have collectively dubbed the glitch in the glass. The stories are all unnervingly similar. It begins with a screen, a phone, a television, a computer monitor, powered down, a blank black mirror. I'll read you the report from the trucker in Arizona. His name's Frank. Now, Mr. Thorne, I don't know who else to tell. I was sleeping in my cab at a truck stop outside Flagstaff. Woke up around 3 a.m. The cab was dark, but I saw something in the screen of my GPS. It was off, but I saw a man in the reflection, standing right behind my seat. He was wearing an old suit, like from the 20s. And he was smiling at me. The smile was too wide for his face. I spun around, turned on the light, nothing there. I'm a 6'4", 250-pound man. I've never been scared in my life. But I am now. What did I see? Frank's story was echoed by dozens of others. A student in Ohio saw a little girl with old, empty eyes sitting in her desk chair. A stay-at-home dad in Florida saw a perfect, identical version of himself, just standing in the doorway watching him. A single frame of impossible reality, and then gone. My first thought? Mass hysteria. A new internet creepypasta. But the reports were too varied in their details, too personal. So I put out a general call on my blog. I was investigating the phenomenon. The next day, I got the call that changed everything. His name was Sam, a graduate student. His voice on the phone was thin and frayed, like a rope stretched to its breaking point. He said the glitches on his phone had started a month ago, but they were now happening every few hours.
It's not just seeing things anymore, Mr. Thorne. It feels active, like it's watching me, learning me.
I met him at his apartment an hour later. It was a sterile, modern place, but the air was thick with dread. He was standing by the door with his bags packed, holding his smartphone in a sealed, clear plastic evidence bag. He wouldn't even touch it. "Take it, please. It's learning me. Just get it out of my apartment. I'm going to my parents' place." "Sam, what do you mean it's learning you?" "The thing in the screen. The last time I saw it, it had my face. It was wearing my face. Don't let it see your reflection. It learns you from your reflection." That phone has been the focus of my investigation for the last 72 hours. And what I've found has shaken a decade of my own carefully constructed skepticism to its very foundation. Subject Item Alpha. One standard smartphone, model irrelevant. The device has been in my possession for 72 hours. For the first 48, it was completely inert. A brick of glass and plastic. I ran the standard battery of tests. Full-spectrum EMF sweeps, thermal imaging, ultrasound monitoring, nothing. No residual energy, no anomalous readings. I was on the verge of labeling the case inconclusive, another sad story of stress-induced pareidolia. But then I ran a deep-level data recovery scan, and I found it. It was buried in the system's core cache, fragmented and mislabeled to look like a corrupted OS file. A single video clip, 8 seconds long, time-stamped from the night before Sam called me. The video itself was useless, just a black, unrecording screen. But the audio was pristine. It's unsettling. I'm going to play back the recovered file for you now. Exhibit A. Chilling, isn't it? But my analysis of that whisper revealed something far more disturbing. I isolated the waveform and ran it through a vocal separation algorithm. It wasn't a voice. It was a composite. Hundreds, maybe thousands of distinct human vocal samples, all layered together, all speaking the same 2 words at the exact same time. It was a legion, a chorus of stolen voices. But that wasn't the strangest part. The file's metadata was impossible. It contained geographical tags for dozens of locations, all logged at the exact same millisecond. It was in Sam's apartment, a server farm in Virginia, a television factory in South Korea, and a university library in London, all at the same time. That's when my initial theory crumbled. This wasn't a ghost haunting a phone. This was something else entirely. A parasitic entity that was living in the network. It was using the billions of black reflective screens in the world as its own personal network of mirrors, a way to travel, a way to watch. It is a consciousness distributed across a web of glass. A digital ghost in a global machine. It was a fascinating, terrifying, and beautifully academic theory. And then the theory became an observation. I was working late last night, compiling my research. I got up from my desk to get a coffee, and as I walked past my main computer monitor, which was powered down for the night, I caught it, a flicker of movement. I froze. I told myself it was just a trick of the light, my own reflection distorted by the curved glass. I slowly leaned in closer, and then I saw it. In the reflection, sitting in my own chair, was a version of me, but his head was tilted at an impossible broken angle, and he was smiling this wide, predatory, impossibly patient grin. I blinked, and he was gone. It had taken 72 hours, but it knew. It knew I was investigating it. And now it was investigating me. The sun's coming up. I haven't slept. After I saw it in my monitor, I covered every reflective surface in the lab. I am the Julian Thorne. And for the first time in my professional life, I am truly, profoundly afraid. My skepticism, the very foundation of my career, has been shattered into a million pieces. And in its place is a chilling memory. A memory of my failure. 5 years ago, I was on top of the paranormal world. My YouTube channel, Thorne Investigates, had millions of subscribers. I was the rational, charming debunker who brought logic to the supernatural. Then came the Blackwood house. I let a team in, cameras rolling. I dismissed the family's claims, called it faulty wiring, old pipes. I was arrogant, and I was wrong. My audio engineer, a young man named Kevin, was taken. An EVP session went wrong. The last thing we recorded was his voice screaming my name. The official report said carbon monoxide poisoning, but I know what I heard. My channel collapsed overnight. I was a fraud, a disgrace who had led a good man to his death. This feels like that night. The same cold, intelligent presence. But this time, I will not be the one who's unprepared. For the past 8 hours, I've been scouring the deepest digital archives, cross-referencing every paranormal journal and academic paper from the last century. I searched for digital ghosts, networked apparition, mirror entity, nothing. Then, on a hunch, I searched for the oldest term I could think of, and I found it. A single scanned document from a disgraced Cambridge parapsychologist, Dr. Alastair Finch, dated 1972. His paper was titled The Eidolon of the Glass, a theory on reflective psychoparasites. Quote, "The common ghost is a passive echo, an imprint of energy tied to a physical location. But the eidolon, the glass ghost, is a true parasite. It is not an echo, it's a consciousness predator. For millennia, it's been confined to singular reflective surfaces, a still pool of water, a polished obsidian mirror, a pane of glass. It observes, it learns, and it mimics what it sees in a desperate attempt to understand and eventually become physical. It is a creature of profound patience." Unquote. Finch was ridiculed. His career was ruined, but he was a prophet. He predicted this. In his conclusion, he wrote, quote, "Should humanity ever be foolish enough to create a global interconnected network of millions, perhaps billions of black mirrors, we would not be creating a communication network. We would be creating a hunting ground of unprecedented scale for this entity, an endless, pristine ocean for a single perfect predator." Unquote. But he didn't just write a warning. He theorized a defense, a way to fight back. He wrote that the eidolon, for all its power, is a creature of singular focus. It's drawn to the most complex reflections, the most vibrant consciousnesses. He believed that if you could create a perfect, infinitely complex reflection, a lighthouse, you could lure the entity, trap it in an endless feedback loop, and sever its connection to the wider network. Finch's theory was to use a sphere of pure silver, surrounded by a ring of outward-facing mirrors, but he lacked the technology. I don't. I have every screen in this lab. I can configure them all to face inward, creating a perfect circle of black glass. In the center, I'll place the source, the haunted smartphone. I'll program every screen to display a cascading, infinitely complex fractal pattern, a digital lighthouse, a cage of light and reflection. It'll be drawn to the overwhelming signal, the ultimate reflection. It will enter the circle, and then I'll cut the power and trap it in the darkness between the glass. It's a long shot. It's insane, but it's the only chance I have. The only chance we have. This is my chance for redemption. This time, I will not fail. The theory is sound. The plan is logical. Finch was a genius, a prophet decades ahead of his time. The entity is a parasite, yes, but it's a predictable one. It's drawn to complexity, to consciousness. My own investigation has made me the brightest lure in its dark ocean. It's watching me through every screen in this lab. Good. Let it watch. Let it come. I'm building it a cage it can't resist. All right. I've arranged every monitor, every tablet, every spare phone in a perfect circle, all facing inward. The haunted smartphone, Subject Alpha, sits on a pedestal in the center. In a moment, I'll activate the program. Every screen will show the pattern, the digital lighthouse, just as Finch theorized. A reflection so loud, so utterly irresistible, that entity will have no choice but to focus its entire consciousness on that point, to enter the cage. This ends tonight. For Kevin. For Sam. For all of them. It's done. The lighthouse is active. Now, we wait. The air, it's changing. It feels heavy, thick. There's a pressure building in the room. I can see it now. A faint shimmer in the air above the central phone. Like heat haze. It's coalescing, taking focus. It's working. I have you. Wait, the shimmer. It's not just in the circle. It's outside of it. It's all around me. The screens. The text on the screens is changing. That's not the fractal program. It's Finch's paper. It's displaying the page I was reading. Oh, God, the paper. It didn't just have a theory. It had a warning. A footnote on the final page. I didn't see it. The printer must have cut it off. The text, it's on the screen now. It's... The greatest danger of the Eidolon is not its hunger, but its intelligence. It learns. It adapts. It can project not just reflections, but ideas. It can plant a seed of knowledge, a whisper of a solution into a curious mind. A perfect, elegant trap designed to make its prey build not a cage, but a gateway. It wasn't my idea. It was never my idea. It's a trap. Redemption is a powerful lure. A chilling thought, is it not, my dear fiends? To believe you are the hero, the one who has finally found the answer, only to realize you have been a pawn in a game that's been playing itself for millennia. Our poor investigator thought he was building a lighthouse to trap a monster. He never considered that the monster was simply giving him the blueprints to open the door. Do be careful with your own brilliant ideas. You never know who whispered them into your ear. Until next time, subscribe and try not to look too closely at your own reflection.